Hello everyone, welcome to the channel of Entreprudence. I am उमर मसूद और आज मैं आपके लिए लेके आया हूँ पहला एपिसोड इन टॉक विद स्टूडेंटप्रेन्योर्स। बट उससे पहले मैं बताना चाहूँगा Entreprudence के बारे में। We are a community where we guide, motivate and promote entrepreneurship among students. और इसके लिए हम लेके आते हैं इंटरव्यूज ऐसे लोगों का जिनका एक्सपीरियंस स्टूडेंट्स के लिए काफी रिलेटेबल हो और उनको हेल्प करे। Apart from that, we provide resources, content and updates about all the stuff in entrepreneurship and starting up that are beneficial and student specific. So इसीलिए let's have a talk with Muhammad Anas today and find out what has he created. So welcome Anas. Pleasure to have you over here.
Thank you for inviting me.
Anas is an entrepreneur and has founded Elite SPM. So, which is incubated at Triple ITD. So, tell us about the journey of Elite SPM first.
Thank you for inviting me to your broadcast, this session. I have started Elite SPM back in 2019 officially as a private limited company, but I was doing this since last 2 years without incorporation. So I started this back in when I was in second year of my college, BTech second year, BTech IT. So I have come up with an idea of building some drones, and the drone industry was so expensive. I found it very expensive. So in order to get started, we need to invest a lot. But being a student, we don't have enough fund. So we have started conducting workshops and training programs in drone technology. Whatever knowledge I have, I start conducting workshop with that and helping other students to learn drone industry and technology, and that helps us to generate some certain amount of revenue that helps in sustaining our daily activities. So this is how we started from very scratch to generate some revenue, take forward the research part and build the product. And in 2000, yes.
So as you said, I would like to ask in this, what are the financial requirements that one should keep in mind? Like, as a student, when we are starting up, we are not that much into finance, and we don't have that in-depth knowledge of finance. So how can a student go through that? How should he learn about it? And is funding a necessary thing, or can we do without it also?
Okay, so I'll say before getting into the drone industry as a startup, one should know the basic things of the industry and the technology first by attending some workshops or training programs that are available online or offline, or some hands-on learning workshops that helps a student to gain the basic knowledge with a very minimal amount of 200, 500 or 1000 rupees. So this will help in creating a mindset, and helps in generating a clear idea about the industry and the product. So this is how you can get started without investing a lot.
And the next thing I would like to talking about the incubation and its benefits. Like, also the should we choose a particular incubator that can benefit us more, or all of them alike, and when is the time to go through incubation?
Okay, so incubation, okay, I'll first introduce type of incubation that are available in the market right now. The first one is private incubations that take some amount as a monthly fees, and for per seed for getting incubated, and give the space and give the mentoring sessions and access to the investment network and everything. So this is the first type. The second type is they don't charge monthly, but they take over your equity on the very initial stage. So if you are very early stage, your idea is not so refined, you don't have a product, you don't have anything on running, you are not generating any revenue, you can easily get into any incubation. Not easily, but there's some qualification round. After that, you can take this kind of incubation which charge equity instead of monthly payment, monthly fees. Okay, so without generating revenue, you can sustain yourself for a long time. It will be approximately 1 year. So they charge generally 2% to 1% for a year. So this is how you can take the first step. The second method is you can, if you are generating the revenue, instead of giving out your equity, which is very important for a startup to hold for a long run, you can pay a minimal amount to a incubation where they are not charging you equity, but they are taking monthly recurring fees. Okay, so these are the two ways. And the second part of the question is, do we need to opt one incubation or we need to take multiple incubation? I'll say it's up to you. You see yourself as a startup and see the market. What all things you are looking for? Like you are looking for a big exposure, so you can opt an incubation with a big network. Or if you are looking for a very good infrastructure where you need a labs, machineries, tools, you can opt IITs. Like we are incubated at IIT Mandi as well, and we are incubated at Triple IT Delhi as well. So physical incubation is in Triple IT Delhi, but we are also incubated at IIT Mandi. So IIT Mandi helps in providing mentoring session and everything. Also, there are other programs from big companies like Google, Cisco, and these like NVIDIA. Elite SPM is partnered with NVIDIA. Elite SPM is Alhamdulillah having a partnership with NVIDIA as an Inception program. So if you are a deep tech startup, if you are a deep learning startup or ML AI startup, you can apply to NVIDIA, and if they select you, they will help you in purchasing your hardware components, GPUs in very discounted rates, provide you a software support, will also help you once you are ready with your product. They will also help you in getting into the market. So this is all about the incubation and the acceleration, some of the programs that you can opt.
That was very informative. Okay, so what I would like to ask, like the mentors you have come across during incubation and even apart from that, and how they help you to grow as a company, as a business.
Okay, so regarding mentors, I'll say we have mentors from very experienced to very young. Like we have Dr. Babulal sir. He's a senior advisor in a company and a mentor. He's having experience of 38 years at BHEL as an executive director. So having such a big experience. Also, we have mentors from like very young mentors who are into legal tech, like Asif Iqbal sir, who helps startup to grow, to get funding and everything. So for the mentors, we should not restrict ourselves to one or very specific mentor, because one mentor can teach you a lot, but having multiple inputs in your startup will help you, think big.
Mm. Mm.
So you can have multiple mentors at the same time, but at the end of the day, you always keep this in mind that it's your startup and you have to take the decision on your own. No mentor can take it forward. They can just give their inputs. You have to do it by yourself.
That's true. It's gonna be your efforts at the end of the day. So next thing I would like to ask, like how to create an organizational structure and things to keep in mind while we are hiring someone or approaching someone in, and that will go in even in the aspect of forming your team that will lay the foundation of your business and startup.
Okay. So this question is for building a team, core team, like founders. You have to how you can find your
Yeah.
co-founders for the start. For the co-founder, what I have come up through my experience is you cannot say anyone if you look yourself and look at your business, you see whatever you have to accomplish your goal and whatever is left. Find that left part in others, in whomever you think that this person can complete that thing. You take that person on board, irrespective of his experience, irrespective of his expertise. You can even consider expertise. Like if the person is not so expert in his domain, but willing to do things unconditionally and dedicating himself for the startup as his own startup, as you are considering your startup. So you can take such people in your core team, and no one is like deserving until unless they do some mischief, right? So everyone is deserving until unless something happens very bad. So uh, these are the few parameters. If they are genuinely willing to work and they are passionate about whatever you are doing, they are looking to get into involved into it, and never involve someone who is just money mind oriented, like looking for the money, and they think that startup is just for the money, making money. Don't involve such people in the team. For finding people, you can go through the LinkedIn, build a good connection network, look for the people with a good profile on LinkedIn, and send them a request, send them a message, ask for a meeting, call them on a coffee, discuss about your idea. If they feel it's good to go, take another meeting, do another meeting, involve them for a week, for a month, and try to spend as much time as possible with your co-founder. Okay.
So that was very informative, and assuming that this will also carry on to the process of hiring someone for your startup.
Yeah, for hiring process, if you are a tech company, if you are a deep tech company, especially, don't go on the CVs. There are people who put a lot on CV and they don't have anything solid on their hand. So do the procedure that we have adopted, that I practice personally, is have a call interview, discuss about whatever they have done, and call them in a office. Give them a machine, give them a laptop, give them equipment, and give them time to do the same thing that they have mentioned on their CV, similar thing or some unique task to solve, some problem to solve. If they are able to solve on the spot problems or something like that, involve them. Other than this, there should be few very basic things that we should look for in a candidate as a employee, as an intern or something. Is number one is ethics. Basic ethics should be there. Okay, values, soft skills should be there. If the person have these things, you can easily generate hard skills like some coding skills, something like that. So look for the soft skills, build the hard skills.
True, true. Okay, so next thing I would like to ask is how do you market yourself, and how is creating a brand awareness a very necessary thing?
Okay. So regarding marketing, social media marketing is getting very popular nowadays. The best way to get visibility and anywhere, any part of the world is go with the social media marketing. That will help you, create a visibility around the world. But what I personally believe is create a great product that sounds a lot. Sounds a lot means product that can market itself. If your product is so good, so refined, you just go to you just find your initial 10 customers. That 10 customers will multiply by 10 itself if you have a good product. So focus on the product rather than the marketing will help you sustain on a long run instead of shouting a lot for nothing. So build something solid, then go for the marketing. And digital marketing is obviously a good option to go ahead with the right. You can source out your outsource your digital marketing with some startups, some small firms that will help you help in getting good reach because they have experience of doing such things.
Yeah, like exactly like they say, if a person uses your product and tells other persons to use their product, that means you have created a valuable thing in the market.
Yes.
So another question like I would ask, what was the what was your personal reason to enter into entrepreneurship, And as a student, like, you have a very vast options of career that you can choose from. And entrepreneurship is usually not the one people go after at such a young age. So what message would you give to them, like why to choose entrepreneurship as a career and as a way of life itself?
Okay. So when I have started in my early stage, very early stage, when I was 18 years old, I never think of getting involved in such complicated things like incorporation and doing these kind of board meeting and everything. But I was so much into the building some sort of technology, getting involved in some fascinating scientific work. But over the period of time, I realized that there are few things that I need to develop in myself as leadership, because in order to take anything forward in the world, we need to have a leadership skill. So I've developed that leadership skill in myself. There are people. Uh, if you are able to convince people to work for you in your very early stage, when you are unable to pay them, when you are unable to show some very big success, if you are capable of doing this, you can capable of leading ahead. So this is what I have developed in myself in an early stage, and this helped me realize that yes, I'm now capable of making a company and taking it forward as a entity, and getting involved in such complex processes like incorporation and board meetings, financials, and there are many things.
Okay, so continuing in this, more often than not, we fantasize about starting up, like being a founder, being a co-founder. We all fantasize about it, but in reality, that it is a very hectic and very, what can I say, exhaustive thing that one can opt in life. So, what are the downsides of entrepreneurship that you would like to take?
Yeah, downside, I guess, is there are very young people who used to post on their social media or LinkedIn on the first day when they wake up in the morning and they decided, yeah, I have to do such thing. And the first thing they do is open up their social media and write founder and CEO, which is very, very dangerous for them. So don't do this, never do this. First, you build some skill set in yourself so that you at least feel confident when you are facing someone. I met a lot of youngsters who have mentioned such and such things, but we when we interact with them, they have nothing to give as a value in front of someone. So first you develop that thing and then come up with such titles. This is the downside of startup ecosystem. Because it's open for all, you can just write anything, you can become a founder, CEO, co-founder at a it's like a dream. So
Yeah.
don't do this. The second thing, as a negative part for the startup, is a funding flaw. People think funding will come very soon, and investors keep on giving dates like, yeah, your product is good, you can come up with some customers. Or if you just come up with an idea, they'll say, okay, build some POC. You build a POC, they will say, build some get some LOI, get some intent.
Hmm.
Once you get the intent, they will say, get some revenue, build a first product and get some revenue. Once you get some revenue, they'll say, scale it. So this period, always look two-way model. I say this as a parallel execution. One thing you run as a very, I'll say, instant revenue generation process. Okay, you look some for something which can help you generate some instant revenue, and do your full time for the long run goal. Okay, something which is your end goal. Okay, so if you do both of the thing in parallel, it will help you sustaining. Otherwise, if you are dreaming like an investor will come and help you out immediately, no one is going to help you in a very earlier stage in India, because in India there is a concept of no POC, no funding, or no product, no funding. So you have to come up with a product. This is the downside. Young startup founders used to think that on the day one, once we started, within few months or few days, we'll have some sort of funding, we'll get rich. Nothing like that. Okay, So you have to do yourself. Yeah.
That was very nice. On the last part, I would like to ask you for resources that you would like to tell to students that they can look up on the internet or elsewhere to understand more about entrepreneurship, like people you follow or books you read, the blogs, any content that you read, anything.
Okay, the best thing if you are interested in looking for a long term very productive course, something like that, I'll say there's a course by Startup India on a website. You go there, it's by IMB or something like that. So you go there and enroll in that course. It's a long course, 40 hours course. Will help you learn entrepreneurship as a subject, as a course, and will give you a certificate as well. But the thing is, the people those who have constructed that course are highly successful in India, and the course helps you develop your business in Indian case scenario, because there are theories which are immaterial for us because they are global. We are starting in India. We are starting from very scratch. There are few things which are not, which cannot fit into our circumstances. In India, there is so different from US and all. So you go for that course, and if you are looking for immediate short term some courses, you can go on LinkedIn. There are a lot of courses available on LinkedIn, and beyond this, you can look for online sessions, seminars, webinars. For the book, you can read success stories of Elon Musk, Alibaba, like Jack Ma, and these kind of books will help you gain some idea. There are books like Zero to One, or there are many books for the startup. So you can just go read those books. I personally believe beyond reading, you have to just get up in the morning, wash your face, get out and do something. Because if you are doing something, will help you more than just reading. Because there are a lot of people who take reading so seriously, they do nothing and just reading. So do read on a very accountable manner. If you are reading, makes sense of building something. So first read that and go and build that thing first. Don't read so much just for the sake of reading. Okay, whatever you are reading, implement that.
So yeah, execution is very important. Just whatever you have in mind, just go and start doing it. It will fail and fail.
Yes.
That shouldn't be a very some point.
Yes.
Okay, so I think that should be it. And we were very happy to have you over here. And all your information was very helpful to us and all the students that would watch this. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for inviting me on your this session, and it was wonderful. And I'm happy to share my very small experience in this session. I also invite you to our office at IIIT. You can come anytime, or anyone watching out this video who are looking to get started into drone industry specifically can come up with their idea to me directly. Reach out or drop me an email. I'll give my email to you. You can mention somewhere where the video is.
Sure. It will be in the description. Anybody can see and reach out to you.
So you can reach out to me and we can discuss your idea. We can take it forward. Okay, then thank you so much for inviting.
So that was our first episode, guys, and I hope you got some very valuable knowledge from it. Link is in the description. You can connect to Muhammad Anas and also pay a visit to his office someday. That's it for today. Like, share and subscribe to get more of such videos.